test. What is? Why am I on here right now? I have a day off. I've had a busy week. Past like week and a half has been fairly busy. Um, I wanted to rant today about, I guess, something in the ballpark of hunting down stories. It's kind of like one of these journalistic kind of a things. Sadly, I saw a shitty example of journalism this morning with CBC approaching Alex Manassian's father um, in the aftermath of the Toronto incident. I believe that, well, there's two things about this. First of all, when when these incidents happen, and it goes without saying, there's a rush to conclusions about why, what's the motive, and so on. And then there's various other topics that get raised before the focus on the victims, and I guess in this case the family of the suspect. Now, they were talking about the agenda. They were talking about possible mental health. They were also talking about whether the terrorist act. They're also talking about, um, you know, how the police handled. They should have shot him. So I saw someone. It was like this legitimate organization in Canada. I think it had something to do with citizenships. They tweeted out something about like the cop should have been fired because he should have fired at Manasseh. And you're kind of like, this is a legitimate organization saying this shit. God help us, quote unquote. But sorry, I'm just trying to adjust the wires here. So yeah, it's one of those. I don't know. I find we're right now in a very ripe time for like misconstruing info, taking info, running wild, reacting, identity politics, all these things that I think are really because you can say there's two sides to every coin, but I think that's the point. There's two sides to everything. On the one hand, we're reacting and we're more outspoken than ever. But on the other hand, some of it amounts to nothing more than Twitter fingers. You know what I mean? Or whatever fingers, Facebook fingers, Twitter fingers, um, reacting, Instagram this and that, posting and so on. And in the end, the necessary real world strategizing, and it's like a balance of using the internet plus reinforcing some shit in real life. Um, Always tweeting and getting into threads and long threads, and I've said this in various other videos and rants that I do. YouTube isn't the thing that I take the most seriously, by the way. Like, I'm just on here right now because I'm in this groove of streaming, so I'm trying to stream a bunch right now and then move on with my day. But um, it's a very strange time. So the Twitter threads and the tweeting and the reacting, which I do too. At what point do we? At what point is it just a never-ending stream of emotional reactions? Um, everybody has a career. Everybody has a job. Everybody has more than one job, actually, usually. And so I'm looking at like I've done so much shit in my life that's been so non-profity. It's funny to think now that it's like almost like all of those years were nothing, and then now it's like there's this new phase of social shit that you got to deal with. And it's like right now, I think that the pitchforking, as I call it, and the endless anger that gets exhibited whenever these incidents happen. is setting us back mentally. So on the surface, we're being active, but then on the more subliminal level, it's like the subconscious mind or whatever you want to call it. Um, People are, without even realizing it, taking mental steps back into this sort of a divisive sort of climate and divisive kind of like fuck this person, and that other person um, is out to get me, and the system is out to get me, and there's this systemic shit, and that's in my way, and people are standing in my path, and the system and the laws are discriminatory, and there's all these regulations, and it's like the reaction to these dudes from the Starbucks, the first Starbucks incident, saying this ain't a black problem, it's a human problem, and then people reacting to that, and these guys are coons, and these guys got paid off, and they got paid so much money, so therefore that's why they're saying this, and respectability politics is bullshit and all this, and it's kind of like we need to take a step back and to stop anything that disagrees with our do-gooderish kind of philosophy. I'm almost stepping more into a. It's like going further into individualistic kind of like these are my beliefs, and there's certain things in my day-to-day life that I'm gonna do to make sure that I'm not really ethically fucking over anybody. But I think people have equated responding on Twitter to things as like an actual action, and it's not. And I think the other thing too is like, so now people are pitchforking the Kanye West scenario because Kanye has said that he supports Trump, which is foolish in the beginning. He said that. That was like a couple years ago he said that now. But then he's tweeting now some conscious shit, and people are kind of like criticizing him, like, oh, you're trying to be woke. Meanwhile, you support Trump. Your comments are this and that. You know, your comments are, you pick and choose when you want to be black and so on and so forth. And I think, first of all, why are we putting that much emphasis and weight on what Kanye says? Kanye is like a highly applauded musician. He's not really, you don't really look to him for political, even though he's had his moments like that. And he's been very outspoken and out front and strident and all that. Like, we don't, why are we putting that much emphasis on what he says? You know what I mean? And I think it's a distraction. The reactions to what he's saying is just a distraction. It's nothing more than, to me, you can disagree with me if you want. If you want, if you don't, if you agree with me, cool. If you don't, that's also cool. But it's a distraction. It amounts to getting caught up, emphasizing, focusing on the wrong shit when there's probably a bigger play at hand happening. And there's just so much opportunity for you to do your own thing that why are you like, you know what I mean? Like, do your own thing and act as a light to other people around you instead of fucking every time one of these celebrities says something, it's like, we must pitchfork. It's like, you're not even operating in the same sphere of influence as these people, or you're not even operating in the same reality. So it's like, why allow yourself to get caught up in the echo chambers of socially conscious, quote unquote, woke Twitter? When it's the Bruno Mars was another one. Like, that was another 0 out of 10 debate. It's like, oh my God. Let the man make his fucking music and keep it moving. Like, one in every like 50 tweets involving these sorts of pitchforking debates, someone will be like, "Who cares?" And you kind of like, I get the frustration. It's like I'm almost more inclined to think that now, but I get the other side of it, so I'm a little more moderate in that way. But yeah, it's like we don't put enough energy into the things that will actually produce results. We put energy into the debating and the pitchforking. So 10 minutes, I think that's a nice little stream rant. Again, I don't. YouTube isn't the thing that I'm really trying to push here. I'm just on a streaming spree, so I'm gonna stream. Probably gonna go on Twitch in a minute here. Stream there too. Peace. Let me actually just first of all, let me just see what's going on. Okay, I get this. There's a chat. Okay, I see. What's this? Ooh, we got some. we got some little filters here and shit. Interesting. Ooh, 8 millimeter. This is the new move. This particular one right here. I'm gonna be using this. Let's see, sketch. Ooh, haunt. Oh, silver screen. It's a toss up between 8 millimeter. Let me see, documentary. Documentary, 8 millimeter, and silver screen are like the moves, I guess. I'll just jump between them. We'll end off with documentary. Peace.